But for our episode, though, it'll probably be Thanksgiving week. So that Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Because we're just thankful for you guys to be on.
Oh,
Thankful to have
That's amazing.
There you go.
Stop
There you go.
it, you.
Best.
that?
There you go.
That's the best.
There, I did it. Welcome to the JRPG Pursuit, a podcast about all things JRPGs, from the games we play to the games we collect, and somewhere in the middle we find other things to do about JRPGs. Here we are. Today we have a really special episode, and we're thankful because, you know, this week is Thanksgiving in the US, and we've got some great guests that joined us from the Level Up Legacy podcast. And I just want to give them a moment, honestly, just a ton of give their spiel, talk about who they are, what they do.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Exactly. Everybody.
Oh,
But don't
stop
clap too
it,
loud
you.
into the camera or into the mic.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah,
Straight into it. Straight into it. Okay.
If I'm feeling ambitious, I'll insert some audience applause here. Note that there is no audience applause because I was not feeling
All
ambitious.
that. All of it.
Let's
I love it.
start with Avenger Max.
I knew I was going to have to go first. I just had a feeling.
I know.
So I'm ready for it. Hi, I'm Avenger Mags, and you can find me at Avenger Mags on Twitter and Blue Sky, where I tweet about trails all the time. Sometimes it's unhinged, sometimes it's not. It's usually unhinged. And then I
Mostly
also,
unhinged,
In the best way.
yeah, I also write for Nintendo Force Magazine. Here's our latest issue. It's an amazing magazine
It's a
about
sexy
all
Kirby.
things Nintendo, and yeah, and it's awesome. And I'm also a co-host on the Level Up Legacy podcast with Slam and Branden, which they're amazing. They're also here, and they can tell you a little bit about themselves now.
All right. Slam.
What up? Thanks for having me on. This will be fun. Listen, I'm Slam Zany on all the things, Twitter, YouTube. Most of my content is on YouTube. Talk about JRPGs, reviews, previews, retrospectives, top 10s, the whole ordeal. And I'm also a co-host on the Level Up Legacy podcast, where we do very similar things to what you guys do here. We just get on and talk about games that we love and, you know, have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
My JRPG.
Yeah, boy. Yep.
Let's go. All right, Retro.
Hi, my name's Branden. I don't even work here. They just
I don't even
found
work
me.
here.
And, yeah, I'm.
He stumbled into
I'm
this.
just a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just found the
stumbled into
link and
this.
joined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super
So
awkward. We're
You
just
guys
gonna
need to
roll with
work
it.
on your security. Yeah, so I'm Retro Branden. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Nova Brand. I also will post about JRPGs. Some of that is unhinged as well, especially if people start talking about key cards. I have a problem with that. Otherwise,
I saw the Twitch.
I am also a co-host on the Level Up Legacy podcast. We have a good time, and we've had these guys on too. So this is exciting that we're finally here. So
Yay.
thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. And honestly, today we've got amazing guests, and what better way to, utilize that than to have a really fun topic. And that is, let's talk about some of the games or JRPGs we just couldn't get into. No matter what.
Let's make people angry.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's get weird. The comments, I can see the comments right now.
Yay.
Everyone's pissed off right now.
Love
Their
the comments.
favorite
Sorry
game.
that I've
Already.
offended you in advance.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
fair
sorry,
audience.
actually, but
Oh.
you'll get over it.
She never is.
Unapologetic. That's how you should be. I'll be that way with my choice.
Nice.
I'm excited for
But
Emily's.
also, Dallah forgot to introduce us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, who are we?
Yeah, this is your
you guys
podcast
again?
after all.
To pick on Dallah again. Sorry. Second week in a row.
I got so
Happy.
excited to have these three amazing guests that I forgot about us. There you go.
That's all right.
So I'm Abdallah.
I'm Emily.
I am, contrary to what you might have heard, Branden. I am Branden. So please keep that in mind. I am
And
Branden.
actually, he's more retro than I am too, so I'm really confusing things.
Yeah.
No. I'm afraid we might be in something of a Highlander situation, and there may be blood.
Well, you guys still need to duel
There's
it
one letter
out,
difference, though.
like we talked about the last time. The duel has not happened yet.
I know.
It hasn't
Stay-
happened
Yeah,
yet.
no,
Stay-
wait. But Emily had a good point here. She said there's a letter difference. So, like, are
There's
we
a
really
letter
competing?
difference.
No.
You're not getting out of it.
Slightly different.
I do
Slightly.
think that we should still fight. Though.
Yeah, I think so.
Stay
You
tuned.
guys need to get out
So
still.
Brandon
prefer
just
if
loves
we still
violence.
fought.
Okay.
I would
If we could
prefer
fight,
it.
that'd be
Stick
great.
around to the
Thank
end of
you.
the episode where you're going to see Brandon and Brandon get into fisticuffs. So
Yeah.
there you go.
There
The
can only
after
be
show,
one.
everybody. So become
It'll
a
be a
member
bloodbath.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can watch us fight.
We'll have Mags referee it.
Yes. Oh, I'd be
It'll
honored.
just
Oh,
be
that'll
me
be
knocked
interesting.
out on the floor, just cold.
It'll
man.
Yeah.
be two Brandons shirtless, just like
Oh, nobody wants to see that. Oh man.
We'll save that
Shoot,
for the
Matt,
after
you
show.
That's
know
the-
those.
that is the
Members
after show.
only.
That's the after show.
We're creating a new tier just for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, you're all protected. You're all safe. Don't worry about it.
Max will be rooting against me 100%. She'll be like, get him.
I'm
Get
an
him.
unbiased
Says on our
referee.
podcast,
How
get that
dare
guy.
you? I'm
See, that's
being
why I
fair.
said-
Unicorn Overlord.
That's why I said.
Oh,
Revenge.
That's why I
Revenge.
said Mags should referee it because she is the fairest and most well prepared
That's true.
in
Well
all of the
prepared.
situations.
Always. Always. Yeah.
Yep.
What we don't tell you on our podcast is when the episode is actually structured, it's because of Max.
Yeah.
So,
We all
100%.
knew. We all knew.
We all do.
I mean,
You didn't have to
That's just
say
how
it.
it is, guys. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
I know you two. There's no way you guys are doing the organization.
Yeah,
when we
nah.
started, we were just like, you want to host? No, you can host. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
just winged the entire
Hit
thing.
record.
I can't live that way. I don't do well in
Oh
that
my
kind of
God.
environment.
This is why we're
So
both type A, Max.
Yeah,
That's why we're both
so-
type A.
They get sent a Google Doc now that they have to add to.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this?
And yeah, Google
And I
Doc
still
Threads.
managed to make it incredibly fun and ridiculous. It's it goes from structured to unhinged in a matter of seconds.
Which this episode is slowly becoming unhinged. Not slowly.
Yep.
Actually, it went like right away.
It has.
didn't
We're
find us
already
like this.
I
there.
was
on
going to
you.
say there was no hinge to begin with.
No.
I give
No
up on the
hinges.
hinge earlier. So, anyways,
So yeah, games
games.
that we
let's talk
can't
about
get into.
Yeah, let's talk about some games that we can't get into. Honestly, I kind of want to hear Emily's pick.
Oh,
Are you sure?
I wanna go
it's
in-
gonna
kind of
Oh,
hurt. I don't know if we should
Let's
start on this
start-
one.
I want to
let's
rip the
start-
Band-Aid.
That's
Let's
gonna.
go
Do we?
dark right off
Do we?
the bat.
I want to
Yeah.
rip the Band-Aid
Yeah,
off.
let's do it.
You might as well get
I've
this one
only-
out of the way.
I don't know what it
Okay.
is. I don't know what it is, but I've heard
Prepared.
it's pretty intense. So let's see what
Okay.
we got.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
hear it.
So this is a game. I think I first started or attempting to play it on the PS2 era. I got slightly far, though. Honestly, I don't remember quite how far. It's been a while since I first had my PS2. And then I tried it again on the PS Vita more recently, but I had to put it down in favor of other games. But I don't know. This JRPG is a beloved classic, I feel like, that, you only hear a lot of positive things about. And it's very beloved, and I feel like it's one I would like, but I just still haven't, gone past to actually beat it. And that is, unfortunately, Final Fantasy X.
Oh, I knew it. Oh, Slam. Are you okay, buddy?
I was like, Slam's gonna be so heartbroken.
I was like,
I could see while Emily was talking, Brandon's like the gears
Yeah.
were turning in his head. He's like, oh, he's figuring it out.
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
So I
Even
would
with the
like to
remake
ask Slam or
or the
anyone else.
remaster?
What are some? Well, the remaster was right on the Vita, so I tried that one.
Okay.
But I do have the Switch copy on my shelf as well as the on PC. So I would like to give it another try. Like I'm thinking on PC, it might if I stream it or something. I think maybe I'll eventually get into it. But I'd love to hear maybe a way to rethink about it, or like is this definitely like a mood thing? Because I find like whenever I can't, finish a game or get really into the story, get sucked in to the combat systems, I'm just not like in the right mood, I think unfortunately I'm sometimes just ruled by the mood I'm in at the time when I'm trying to play a game. So I'd like to hear
I feel like that
you
happens
guys
more
talk
often
about
than
it.
we admit it. Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
it definitely
but before Slam has a bunch of wonderful things to say about this game. But I'm curious, Emily, like when you've had a hard time getting into it, are you able to identify what it is about it that's just not working for you?
I don't know. Like I would say like when I was like a teenager, when I first tried it, I was playing it back and forth with my brother, like we were handing off the controller. I think he wasn't feeling it. So maybe that kind of bled into me not feeling it. And especially like I think when the blitzball stuff that you had to like, get through, we were both like, this is kind of lame. And I was also coming off of the high of playing Kingdom Hearts, thinking, I've never
yeah.
played Final Fantasy before. Maybe I'm going to love this. And what's also ironic is that before 10, I played 12, 12, and loved it. So I think I was just making too many comparisons at that point in time, thinking maybe I'm going to have this amazing experience like I had with those 2 prior, Square Enix games. And I guess the more recent one on the Vita, when I reattempted it, I think I was just like other games were calling me, and I just got, I was kind of going through the motions. Like I want to say I was maybe 5 hours in, maybe less. Could have been 3 hours. And I don't know, it just wasn't calling to me because I already knew a little bit about the story, and it was like, nothing's really surprising here. Nothing's, grabbing me. So maybe that's a mixture of that.
So Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games of all time, and it is my favorite Final Fantasy game. And I understand that there are criticisms with its linearity and its more lighthearted kind of tone, which it actually is pretty dark once you actually get into the weeds of it. Blitzball is an understandable criticism, although I love it, and I think everyone should aspire to be the best Blitzball player they can be.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't hold yourself back.
Yeah.
I think the things I like about it the most, right? Part of it is nostalgia and memories for me, how I was introduced to it, and kind of, some really great memories I had playing it with my uncle when I was younger. So there is that aspect to it, but I think the characters, the whole journey with Titus and Yuna is just such a unique, how should I put this? The way they set it up is so different from all the other Final Fantasy games, and it's still a huge shift from everything that came after it, right? You said you played Final Fantasy 12, you loved it. It's understandable why 10 wouldn't hit with you the same way. They're very vastly different in a multitude of ways. And I think going into Final Fantasy 10, you almost have to go into it almost not expecting it to feel like a traditional Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, not making the comparisons, I think.
Yeah. My one criticism of I replayed it recently, and actually made for a retrospective video that I did. And I basically was like, I want to play this with new eyes. It's been a while since I beat it, and I want to see if it's still my favorite. It definitely still is, right? But playing it now, I was able to see some of the criticisms some people had with it. And, me and Branden even talked about it because Branden, I don't think he finished it, but he was playing it around the same time.
I got pretty far in.
Yeah. And we were talking about it, and we were like, the linearity and the repetitiveness of some of the grindy parts of the game. Yeah, we get that, but that is a little bit more, traditional PS2 era kind of JRPG fare. But for me, what hit the most was the story, the characters, the music, and how it all came together, and some of the big twists that happen in the middle and then later in the game, and how it all comes together at the end is super amazing. It's one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. So I would say if you only got 5 to 8 hours in, I would give it another shot. Stick around for a little bit, see if it hits with you.
Yeah, I think also part of trying to play some of the older games, after, experiencing a lot more modern JRPGs, is maybe I just not as patient maybe with grinding and slow progressions.
Yeah, I feel that too.
I think that's a common criticism we've been hearing, with Trails in Sky First Chapter for some people, even though that's the modern remake of it. They're like, why is this story so slow? What's happening? It's not that interesting. I definitely heard the criticism before the remake came out for Sky FC. And I don't know, I feel like all the, HD remasters we've been getting and all those kind of quality of life things with some of those older experiences, it's been making it easier to get into some of them. And so when you go backwards without all those quality of life things, I don't know, I've been finding it a bit more difficult myself. Yeah. So maybe that's also part of it.
I feel like that's a fair point, because so many of the remakes and things are starting to add in these ways to streamline and speed things up. And although I know Final Fantasy, the Pixel remasters 7, 8, and 9 all have boosters of some sort. Does the 10 remaster have boosters?
I don't recall, but then again, maybe I didn't see them.
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
So maybe that was part of it
understandable.
too.
Like we've talked about on this show before about how like game development, game design is like a river, and you are constantly moving down the river.
Yeah.
And it is possible to swim upstream and enjoy some of these older games, but it is an upstream swim. Like you do have to work extra hard to get enjoyment out of some of these games because
That's
of
a
how
good
they're
analogy.
designed. And that's like, I mean, it's just true. And that even having played it, like I love Final Fantasy X. It is maybe my second or third favorite in the series. It's hard to say. It fluctuates.
Yeah.
Definitely in the top 5 though. But it is like I went and replayed it a few years ago, and I found it challenging in ways that I didn't expect to, just because of how I've gotten used to the way things are now in the modern era. So
Yeah. I played it recently with Slam, like he said. I didn't. So to be clear, I didn't not finish it because I didn't enjoy it. I'm just super scatterbrained and had like 5,000 things to do.
same.
But I actually came to appreciate it more. I made a Final Fantasy video on my channel where I ranked them, and it was like 8 on my list, and I got railed for that positioning. But you know what? You're going to get railed for anything in a list like that.
That's true.
So I played it again because Slam loves it so much, and I'm like, maybe I missed something. Maybe I'm like reflecting on it poorly in a way that's not fair. And I think I walked away feeling that way. Like, yeah, actually, the way the story is presented, having Titus, we'll never call him Titus, Titus as the narrator, and the way that kind of like builds the set pieces, even though it's very linear. Like, it's a beautiful game, the music is beautiful, and then the combat, getting used to like switching in and out between the characters. When I first played it when I was a kid, I was an idiot in high school when it came out. So I mean, I'm still a little bit of an idiot, but I was more of an idiot back then. And I was just like, I like Titus, I like Auron, and I like Yuna, and I will not use anybody else, right? And the game is designed to switch in other characters, so I made it unnecessarily hard for myself. And so this playthrough, I was like, this is a really fluid battle system. Like, this is really well structured. So no, I didn't finish it, but I did walk away being like, okay, this is now much higher in my estimation. Like, I remembered this poorly because I was playing it differently back then than I would now. So I do think it's definitely worth taking a crack at it and letting the story and the characters build and getting into some of those battle mechanics. But yeah, without some of the boosters, it is interesting that it's like the only Final Fantasy outside of the 13 trilogy that needs to come back, but it's like the only remastered Final Fantasy that doesn't have something like that to work with. So
it's interesting for sure. I definitely want to give it another try because I feel like I would love the story and the characters if I give them more time. And it has been like 7, almost 8 years since I last tried it. So I feel like now maybe would be a good time to give it a go again.
I haven't played it since like the PS2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it's been a very long time.
It's been an era.
Even though it's like one of those games that kind of like to this day, even though I haven't played it for so long, it's just like impactful. Like it's, I remember loving it so much at the time when I was playing it. And so it's been on my mind of going back to it, but it's also like you said, it's a very long game. And it takes a while to get through it. So, and time is not on our side.
And
No, it's not.
Never is.
No,
It is definitely the first Final Fantasy that I ever cried over. Got very emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I must be a baby then. I was crying over 7, 8, 9. Like, I was just
Branden cries at every game.
I think you're just crying.
I do.
That's good.
It's
Be
just
in
a me
touch with
thing.
those
I guess.
emotions. Do it.
Yeah, let them
Do
flow.
it. Don't bury them.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Well, we should roll forward because we have a lot of people to get through. So why don't we have Slam, since you were the counterpoint to that one? Why don't you share your?
Since you were attacked so
challenge.
mercilessly in the beginning.
Sure. So I'll do this one. There's a few series, and we actually had this talk about a similar topic on our podcast, and I said Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, but I'll do another one here, and I'll do The World Ends With You. I have tried these games multiple times. I just can't get into them. I don't know if it's the art style, if it's like the vibes of the game, or kind of like the moment to moment gameplay, but it seems a little stressful. when you're playing it. It's like really all over the place. The art style is a little it's not like super appealing, or like it's not like welcoming. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not like
How do you feel about the
welcoming,
music?
you know what I mean? Moments I didn't like it, moments I thought it was cool.
Was this on the DS too for the first game?
Yeah, and then I tried the one that came out for Switch, I think it was. That was somewhat recently, and I liked that one less. So I was like,
the Switch port is.
I was like, maybe
rough.
these games just aren't for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you haven't
That
tried
one-
the
the
Neo
Switch-
and the World Ends With You, right?
What's that?
There's the sequel. You haven't tried that one, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who
the
wants to
Switch
take this
when the
one?
Switch one came out, I tried taking a crack at it, but I'm actually in agreement with you, Slam. Like for me, it was all about the combat system. The combat system was cool in theory, but in practice, because of the way they tried implementing the touch control. I keep hitting my mic, man. The way the touch controls were implemented just super stressed me out, and I was like, I just can't. Like, just give me a normal battle system, please.
Yeah.
So I ended up not finishing it.
It's a game that benefits, I think, from having your DS on a stand.
It really does.
So that you can have a little more freedom. And I don't think they really made stands for the original DS, right?
Not
it wasn't
really.
until the 3DS that they.
That was
they
only
started
for like
doing
Kid
that.
Icarus. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the Kid Icarus one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm too much of an empath, but like I love The World Ends With You, but I totally 100% understand like why you don't. If I look at the art style, just taking it piece by piece, as an art style, it's like, yeah, it's actually not my favorite. It's not super appealing to me. Very angular, like thick lines, like there's a reason I don't. It's like comic book style. I don't like comic books.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense that I wouldn't be as crazy about it, I guess. And yeah, the gameplay, I have a lot of respect for it. I think it's very cool what they did. I also am fine that there are no other games that it's cool if that was an evolutionary dead end. I think that's a cool dead end.
Have you played Neo: The World Ends With You?
I have not. No.
Okay.
Sitting on my shelf.
Neither. It's on my shelf as well.
too.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I have it, but
Yeah, I haven't either. So I'm
Brandon's
like, hopefully someone
always
played it.
that's
Yeah.
always his answer. I have it. Never played it.
Yeah, for me, I've only dabbled with the DS version, and I thought it was cool. But also, I was coming off of knowing the characters from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS.
Okay.
It was cool how they interwove them into that story. And I've always wanted to like them. Like, I don't know, for some reason, they just remind me of like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX characters, and that
I
just
could see
gave me
that.
a cool factor.
Yeah.
I want to play more.
So did you play and beat them, Emily?
No. So I just dabbled a little bit with.
Okay.
I got a couple of years ago the DS version because I wanted to make sure I got the DS version, not the Switch version, because I thought how you use the two screens and the stylus really mattered for that. game. And just dabbled a little bit with it before putting it back on the shelf for another day. But I thought it was fun. Like Dallah and Branden, you played it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
On the DS.
So what do you think, Dallah?
I enjoyed it. I also did not like the combat style was a little annoying. Like I don't like gimmicky combat or controls sometimes. So I'd rather just play the game and enjoy the game for what it is. So that part wasn't always my favorite thing, but I could see I still enjoyed the game. I still like it despite
The characters I thought were kind of endearing, right?
Yeah.
Their dynamics.
Yeah, the characters are good. I like the vibe of the game. It was very I liked the artwork, honestly. I thought it looked cool and the music was really good. All around I enjoyed the game, but I can see the controls were not the most
I feel
intuitive.
like if you don't play rhythm games, maybe. Also, I don't play them.
Yeah.
But you kind of need to have a little bit of a rhythm going to
You got to use
get the stylus
both
just
sides of your
right.
brains.
A little bit. It does.
Indeed.
It does
Yeah, they're-
take a lot of.
It's just not on the level
work.
of sound shapes.
Yeah,
Right.
I was just.
I
about
was
to
waiting
say,
for sound
yeah.
shapes to be
Nothing
mentioned.
Yeah, I think it appealed to me a lot because it came out during that period where I wasn't really playing a lot of games. And I think I needed something to be that weird and out there and unique for me to like grab hold of it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the right game at the right time for me. But like I say, it totally makes sense to me why people might not like it because it is
For sure.
Yeah.
deeply weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked something that appeals to me are just like dedicated handheld JRPGs, like where
Oh yeah.
they probably should be, you know, on a handheld, not blown up on a big screen. And I feel like that's just a great case of it and really kind of quirky and utilizes, you know, the unique factors of the DS. And so that's why I think it's a cool like RPG experience. But again, I haven't beaten it, so I can't say definitively if it's good or not. But I kind of miss, you know, experiences like that. So I kind of wish they would make more, not necessarily in that style, just more like dedicated RPG experiences that we just don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have very little dedicated handheld experiences right now.
Yeah.
Thing of the past.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Shall we go with the next one?
Yes.
Let's hit it.
Who wants to go next?
We could just
I think we
rotate
get
podcast to podcast. So either
Yeah,
you
we
or
just
me.
got to throw somebody under the bus. I think Dallah should go.
All right.
You've been chosen.
I'm perfect for being under a bus. Mag's like, look,
Anyway, are you okay?
am I?
If he's
No.
under a bus, probably.
Yeah,
see,
right.
This is evidence of what we do to his self-esteem every week.
Help me. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so so this series, I've tried so many times to get into this, and I just have never been able to like commit to any of the games, and that is Disgaea. Like, yeah, the Disgaea series. Like, I know I've had like lots of friends growing up who are like diehard Disgaea players that would play like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of hours and have like, you know, characters level like almost like 1,000 or whatever it is that you can go up to. And they were obsessed with it. And for me, like I've always tried it, but it, like something about the story and the gameplay and the act of like grinding up to like levels way higher than I want to deal with. It just always threw me off with Disgaea. I don't know why. Like I like the quirky and the comedy bits about it, but like everything else, I'm just like, the gameplay I think is just not for me. Like it's not my favorite.
You don't want to max your characters to 10,000,
Oh my God.
1 million damage.
See, like that's my like let's say with like Final Fantasy Tactics, my favorite part of that game is like the story. And the gameplay is great to kind of bridge that and push the story along. And it makes sense in the context of tactics. It's kind of it's got that feeling. But for like Disgaea, it doesn't quite have that. It feels like the grind is the purpose. And so like for me and Branden, for God's sake, I'm just kidding.
It's like, just stop hitting the microphone, Branden. He's like over here beating up his microphone.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Like you're talking about my strategy RPGs here.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you guys feel on like Disgaea? You guys played a lot of that?
I tried, man. When I started, I really did try.
Yeah.
Like because I had started kind of doing stuff with NIS America, and they had mentioned it. They're like, "Oh, do you play Disgaea?" And I was like, "You bet I do."
Brittany?
Immediately starts playing
Brittany.
Disgaea so that it's not a lie. And I got a little ways into the first game, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is actually pretty cool." I was enjoying myself. And then I hit a wall so hard.
Yeah,
Like
those.
the spike, man, the difficulty spike just slammed me in the face. And I was like, oh, okay.
Thou shall not pass
Yep.
This is not,
unless you thou grind.
not
Branden.
actually for
Thou
me.
shall grind
is
for 28
muted.
hours.
Oof.
Branden's muted.
Brandon's muted.
Or he
He hit it
unplugged.
too
I
many
punched
times.
it. I punched it.
Sorry.
into,
He
Yeah.
punched it.
The mic went off.
No, I was gonna say. To be fair, I have only played the first game, and I don't know
Same.
why I haven't played the other ones because I really loved the first game.
Okay.
It's
But,
such
like,
a Branden game.
It is.
It
It's
sounds like
literally
it for sure.
Yeah,
screaming for
Disgaea
you to
is
break
like.
it.
It's like, yeah, it's like the whole. It's almost like the whole point of Disgaea is like how over the top and ridiculous and stupid can we be?
Yes.
And
Very
that
much.
is like every part of the game. And so from a grinding perspective, like I would get to those things where, you know, you could like figure it out and get to a certain level and set your characters up in such a way that you could like get like 100 levels at once, kind of like stupid things where, you know, you like get them really high leveled and then you can like reset and do it again to like maximize damage. And so by the end of that game, I was doing like I'm pretty sure there was like letters, like it would say like 1 point something billion damage or something like ridiculous like that, right? And so I never hit a wall, but that's because I was like, whoa, this is the craziest grinding I've ever done in a game, and I just loved it. So if you like see, I like grinding. I like seeing stupid numbers. I like getting so powerful that you can just like, you know, slap a last boss and they fall over, right? So that was wonderful for me, but I don't have an excuse for not having played the other ones. I honestly don't know why. I just never did.
Well, now you can.
And I came to Disgaea. I came to Disgaea when they came out with I think it was a PSP remake of the first one.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction. I think it was the PSP, right? Or remake or
PSP
I think
had
it
a
was
version.
master or
They
something.
had something on
yeah,
PS3.
yeah. That was the one I played. But then 2 came out and then they just kept going and I just never got back to it.
Yeah,
The
I've
complete
always really
editions
liked
are
the
nice.
vibe, like the humor and stuff
Yeah.
was very appealing. Like, and I like that about all of NIS's games. Like, they all don't take themselves too seriously. Very
The
lighthearted.
printies and all that. Yep.
Yeah, like I appreciate that. I do wonder why they say "dude" like that. Why do they spell "dude" like that?
Yeah, why do they do that?
Why do
they
dude
do
like that? Just
Any
say
of the
dude.
things they do in
Stop
Disgaea
it.
is a valid question. I play
true.
them pretty randomly, like kind of casually. Like I haven't played all of them. I played 1, 5. I dabbled in 7. These games are just off the wall crazy. And I will say, like, if you can jump in kind of anywhere, but
Sure.
in the series, but once you jump in, like if you jump in at 5 or later, Disgaea is going to assume you already know Disgaea. And
that's true.
you're going to be introduced to all kinds of crazy, weird mechanics and like just nuances to those games that are very specific to Disgaea that they're going to overwhelm you. You're not going to understand. You're going to have to watch a couple of YouTube videos or something. But the games are genuinely pretty fun. If you like strategy RPGs, they do a lot of really creative and unique things that just other games just don't do or even try. So I applaud them for that, but they are harder to get into. It's not the strategy game for everyone. You know what I mean?
It's like the niches of the niches, I could think.
Yeah.
When it comes to min-maxing strategy RPGs with very quirky humor, I would say. It's very unhinged humor, maybe. Is the word.
I feel like it's like the same thing with like people who are really into Xenoblade for the combat, and trying to like get your, I guess your attacks, like, because like I feel like there's like a branch of people on the internet that play Xenoblade, and they're just like all about like, how do I like juggle this character for like millions.
That's how
and
you
millions
play
of
the game,
damage.
Dallah. What are you saying? What are you saying?
I
No,
think
what you
even
do
going
is
there
you
for any
scrape by
game
and
now.
don't pay attention to any of the systems and get frustrated and just brute force your way
That's-
through it.
And then
That's
call
how
it a
you
bad
do it.
game
It's like
any
online.
game.
That's
now.
how you
Like,
do it.
It's not just Xenoblade, in my opinion. Like you could really min-max any game and just do
right.
do weird things and
Sure.
break it.
Yeah, you can, but there are games that definitely reward you
Yes.
more for.
Well, sure, that
focusing
appeals
on
to
it.
more. There's more people who focus.
There's
for
a lot
sure,
more
stream about
deeper
it.
gameplay, like some games with like deeper mechanics that let you do a lot more.
Xenoblade had layers that I never explored. Let's put it that way. Like, did not bother exploring. So yeah, it's got layers.
No, exactly. But Disgaea.
Well, you guys are missing out. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
No, but so Disgaea is like, I feel like it is one of those types of games, but it's one of those games on steroids. Like Disgaea makes no question about how ridiculous it is when they're like, hey, you can grind, but like you can really grind in this way and make it look really, really insane. Right?
Yeah. The point of
So-
I think playing Disgaea is to go to those levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That depth with how much you can, make the big number go up
Exactly.
and toss around all your preemies and things like bombs. It's great.
Yep. Yep.
To do the
Oh,
stacking
so good.
stuff and see that basically bowl with them.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good when I see people do it in a video, but I don't think I'm It's never been
It's
something.
not for people.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah,
you.
I think you want
It's never been for me.
the hard hitting. It's not like Final Fantasy Tactics that I think a lot of people play, even if they don't like the combat necessarily or want to do all the grinding. The story like holds up. Like I think the humor is great in Disgaea. It's just you don't usually play Disgaea just for that humor.
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, part of the humor is in the gameplay. So, like, you really have to love the gameplay and the grinding and the stupid numbers to get the most out of Disgaea.
Exactly.
If you don't enjoy that, then you're going to be like, why am I here? So it sounds like that might be what you're experiencing.
Yep. Exactly.
Which is okay. You know, not all JRPG like subsets are for us.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
gotta,
that's
you know,
like Final
there's so
Fantasy
many
X is the worst,
there.
right?
Gotta-
Am I right?
That's why we're here talking about this right now.
Exactly. We want to narrow down, you know, the ones that we think are worth giving another shot, or maybe ones that maybe we should set down and focus our time and energy on other ones that we can enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. Let's go. We got who's left? Branden and Mags. Maggie, why don't you hit us?
All right. So some games that I would love to be able to get into, but just have not been able to over the years, despite even playing them with friends, which I love doing that and I love to have that time. But it's the Monster Hunter games, not the story games, but the mainline series. I've tried World and I've tried Rise, both with friends at different points in life because they came out years apart. And I really wanted to enjoy that and play with them, but I just could not get into these games for several reasons. One, I just don't love the combat. It feels like it just took a level of skill that I didn't have and a level of patience that I didn't have to gain the skill needed. And I know there's a lot of different kinds of weapons and like some of them are more difficult to master than others, but I just really couldn't find one that fit me. I also thought the menus were very confusing, especially in World. Like I could just not figure out how to do like the simplest things. And I felt like they were overly complex. And then also the whole sequence of hunting a monster, like that's the gameplay loop, right? And as you attack said monster throughout that, they start to like limp and get injured. And it's honestly quite sad to see them like slowly get weaker and weaker until you kill them. And I just like, I know it's a game. I know it's not real. Okay. I can separate myself from that. But like, I didn't like seeing that.
Well, that monster wasn't doing nothing to nobody.
No.
You went to its den,
Right.
and you dragged it out, and you beat it up.
Exactly.
Like,
You're
that's
trying to gather the materials to make armor. You're trying to.
horrible.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe
Developing a capitalist empire off the
Right.
backs of these poor monsters.
We're calling PETA. We're calling PETA on this.
Well, when you put it like that,
Yeah.
none of us should play these games.
right.
I,
So
I can, yeah.
maybe I'm a little
I can see
too
that, though.
sensitive. I just could not like even like playing it with friends and like they were like having a ball and being like, yeah, it's almost dead. Let's go. Like we gotta chase it to the den. And I'm like, this doesn't
Let's
feel
slaughter
right.
it.
Like I don't like
Just
it.
don't overthink Pokemon, all right, Max? Just
That
don't overthink it.
mechanic
Yeah.
in Monster Hunter though does answer a question that I've had about most every JRPG and kind of video games in general. It's like when you're fighting a boss,
Yeah.
and you're whittling down its health. Why does it get stronger as you get closer to killing it?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
You don't get
Second
stronger
win,
the
baby.
closer you get to the more injured you get.
Right.
You get weaker.
Especially if there's phases and like the last
Yeah.
phase is the most difficult
They just
phase. You're like,
keep
why? Like, where did this come from?
Doesn't make any
A
sense.
burst of energy
This
or
isn't-
adrenaline, guys.
This
Yeah.
isn't my
It's
final
just
form, guys.
Biology. No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I guess
concessions are made for the sake of gameplay, but like, at what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost?
What cost?
I
That's a good
can
point.
I can totally understand. Like I've only played one traditional Monster Hunter game I reviewed it for a publication back in like 2014 or 15. I don't know what year it was, but it was the first one on Switch. So I guess it would have been 17, 18. Monster Hunter 3G or Generations or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's pretty inscrutable if you are not already familiar with it. So like the menus, just the process of going about stuff. I think maybe similar to Disgaea, they do assume a certain level of pre-existing knowledge, like going into it. And I know there's tutorials and stuff, but like there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And in a game that has that much to learn, like a bunch of text tutorials they're just not gonna cut it for a lot of people. Definitely didn't cut it for me. And yeah, the gameplay loop is like, I can see how it could be fun for people, but like it just never worked for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. It was weird because I would just see my friends enjoying it so much, and I just could not really understand why it was fun. And I also feel like too, I really am like a story person. Like to stay invested in a game, like that has to be there, and it's just not there in the mainline games.
Right.
Like the stories games, that's why I enjoy them so much, is because there is a cohesive story. There are fun characters. It's more of a like JRPG in a traditional sense, I think. Whereas like the mainline games just are more about the gameplay loop and just how you can maximize that and how you can mix that up, and it's just not for me.
Yeah, I tried playing Monster Hunter and similar games, and I realized that those games showed me that it's not just about grinding for me. There has to be something else, and something about that loop is just not. It just doesn't work for me. Like Monster Hunter, I played like Final Fantasy Explorers was kind of a Monster Hunter type game, but for Final Fantasy. Lord of Arcana, has anybody ever played that game? On the PSP?
No.
Never, ever play that game. It's like
Never
Monster
play that
Hunter,
game.
Don't do it.
but stupidly hard and not in a good way. Like the kind of hard where the mechanics are janky, not, I need to get good.
Yeah.
And it will just make you super angry. But the thing, like, this is a really stupid and basic reason, but like I tried playing Monster Hunter and the speed of the weapons is what turned me off. Like, you're like, okay, press attack, and you're like,
Yeah, the timing is off.
hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Move, man.
Yeah, it's very methodical, in a
I
bad
show
way.
Realism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that weapon's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
heavy.
To be fair, the weapon's really heavy. Sure, it looks really big, but I'm like used to, like I don't know, my dual wielding dudes that can get in there and go really quickly. And even with the faster weapons in the game, I was just like, I can't do this. This takes way too long.
Yeah.
They do have
they're
dual
going for
wielding dudes
realism.
now that you can climb up.
realism.
Yeah, I've heard.
monsters.
Total,
Yeah.
like
I've
realism
heard the
in this
newer
like
ones.
absolutely absurd fantasy. Like, yeah, let's be realistic about that, right?
No, the one thing I never like really resonated with me with Monster Hunter is that like, it's the kind of game that you have to pour in hours and hours of just like the grind as well
To get good.
and like you're not going up levels, so that was kind of always annoying.
It's the gear.
It's
Yeah.
the gear.
gear,
So like
yeah.
you have to like just grind for pieces of animals so that way you can make better gear and make better, and then you're just trying to be like beef it up so you can go fight other monsters, and like that gameplay loop just never really like resonated with me as much. Just because like you
It
said,
seems more like a social game.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
You go
Yeah.
grind with friends and like, hey, look at all this cool armor and stuff we got. Now we can make better stuff.
yeah.
Yay, friendship.
Friendship.
Yay,
There,
friendship.
I just feel like there's a lot of better games you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. But
I prefer it as well, but I think I could say, probably speak for most of us, we enjoy our single story experiences more than, just, having that in the background and just talking with friends while we just do something on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slam, you should tell us why we're all wrong because you like Monster Hunter.
I like it. I mean, you're all right, but it is a very social game. I played it with my brother, some other friends or whatever. We get into it, hop on for a few hours a night, and like we just go work together hunting monsters and trying to get gear. And once you get really far, it does have a bit of an addictive gameplay loop where you just got to get the next piece of gear to get the full set, and then you need this for the weapon to match your gear set. And you're hunting the monsters to try to get all the way to the top and get all the cool stuff. And then once you do, it's really rewarding because the gear designs and like everything is just it's really well done. They really go all out to make that stuff really desirable. And the various different play styles, and it's a challenging game. So you get that sense of accomplishment from, actually taking down some of these monsters and coming out on top. So there is that, but it's not for everyone, right? It's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah.
I think Branden's choice might be a good transition.
Zoom.
All right, I'm gonna go RPG and not JRPG. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit because someone needs to help me with this one. I genuinely want to like this game. I want to play it. I want to beat it. But every time I try it, and I had a guy for a long time being like, you have to just give it a go. And I really did, and I just got bored. And that's Horizon Zero Dawn.
I love those games.
I love those.
I don't know what it is about Horizon, but like whenever I play, I'm gonna make some enemies here. I think Aloy's kind of
I chose
boring
Final Fantasy
as a
X. I
character.
think I'm enemy number 2.
Yeah, you started us off strong.
Yeah.
I think
I warned
Aloy's
you.
she's kind of boring as a character. Like I don't feel that invested in her character in the game. Like the battle system. You can get used to it over time, but like with some of the whatever they're called, monster mech things, like it just felt kind of janky. Like I couldn't move fast enough. Like the camera angles were kind of weird. I just never felt comfortable with it, like I did in other games. And like I don't know, I feel like at least the original Horizon. I didn't try the second one, to be fair, but the original Horizon was during that Uncanny Valley era where you're talking to the characters and like the way their eyes are like bugging out
yeah.
when you're talking to them and stuff.
That was
I was like, and so there were just like so many elements of the game where I'm just like, this game just kind of puts me off. Like I'm not, it's not that I didn't enjoy myself at all. There was just something about it where I'm like, I would rather go play Final Fantasy X. Am I right? And so I just never beat it. It was kind of like that classic, like open world, a billion things to do that felt a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I know it's like beloved and these are like, critically acclaimed games, but I just can't. I struggle to get into it. And now at this point, I'm like, there's so many other games that I want to play that the thought of going and playing Horizon again is just like, no, I'm probably just never going to beat this game because I don't want to. I don't feel any motivation. So that's the one. There's a few others that I struggle to get into, but that one, I gave it a good go about 2 or 3 times and probably put, let's call it 15 plus hours into it. And I was just like, that's just, I'm going to play something else now.
Sometimes games don't click. And I think that's okay.
Yeah. And I think 15 hours is enough to know
It's
whether
adequate.
it is or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a good go. I
feel like that game is actually, you probably didn't even have that much
Right.
left of that game.
I know,
To be honest,
yeah.
it's not that long.
It's
Um,
pretty short.
Well,
maybe like a 30-hour
but like
game.
15 hours
Cumulatively.
of Branden
Restarting.
playing, which was like, I'm going to go find every nook and cranny and try to like go do these things. And so
That's the thing you got to be
This-
careful with, like with those kind of games. Like it's like the problem with like Skyrim and like Elder Scroll games is that like
Yeah.
you might you'll like burn yourself out before you even
Fast.
start
Yeah.
the actual like journey of the game itself. And that's like the problem with open world games in general, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
Assassin's
struggle
Creed
with
comes to
open
mind
world.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Assassin's Creed, I played the first one, and I don't think I beat it because I was trying to do everything, and eventually I was just like,
man.
"This is now so
Yeah.
samey. I'm getting bored."
And that one has
Yeah.
less content than like all the others if you were playing the first one.
Right,
Like they
that's the
only
most basic. It's
expand
like-
more like after that, but
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed person.
Horizon is it was actually for me the game that helped me break the habit of feeling like I needed to do everything on the map. Because I was getting to the point where I'm like, something's got to happen here. I need to get through this story. I've got other games that are coming out. Like, we got to do something about this. And so I just forced myself to mainline the plot, and I got through it.
Yeah.
I am kind of like sitting on the fence with Horizon. I never played the DLC or the sequel. I did play a little bit of the VR game for some reason. It was fine.
Your VR face.
Aloy seems much shorter in the VR world, or maybe I'm just tall. I don't know. But I was
You're
like,
tall, dude.
I was like, why are you so small? But I don't know. Like, I thought the premise was cool. I liked the way it looked. Beautiful game.
Sure.
I had fun occasionally with the combat. It was a little more technical than I wanted to be, I think. It's been several years since I played it, so I'm trying to remember. It's been almost 10 years, you guys, since it came out, right? Like,
It's a
came
long
out
time
around, like,
ago.
right around the same time as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I remember it was like
Yep.
it got upstaged by Breath of the Wild.
We did.
But
There's even a Lego game.
Yeah.
The Lego, yeah.
I was going to ask
Lego
about that
Horizon.
because that one actually looked fun. The way that they
I mean-
incorporated the Lego
Oh,
mechanics
yeah,
into
yeah.
that entire
It is
experience.
it
like,
is dirt
looked
cheap
more
right
fun.
now if you want it.
Maybe that's the one you
Oh,
should play,
I have
Brandon,
it.
with your daughters. Yeah.
There you go.
To get back
has
into
it.
it. There you go.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Man.
Now you'll be singing a different tune after you play it.
Yeah.
I like
You'll love
this. I think the sequel was significantly better than the original in just so many ways. I like both of them. I beat both of them, played both of them. I probably put a ton of hours into those games. I like them. I'm a sucker for games with bows.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I love
Yeah, me
that.
too.
I choose Archer and a lot of RPGs and stuff if I have that choice. I just think it's fun. And it does a lot of really creative things with that. I will say that Sony and their IP and, you know, the like blueprint that they have for all their games is becoming a little too samey
Yeah.
for my liking, to where it is, you know, I just played Ghost of Yote where it's like, this just doesn't feel all that different from the other games that I'm playing that are basically just different movies. And if I wanted to watch a movie, I'd just watch a movie. And I know I would probably get a lot of knocks for saying that, but I just don't feel like there's enough gamification in their video games. They just don't feel like, they're starting to feel less and less and less like games. And I'm feeling less and less like I have any player agency in the games that they're releasing. I feel I'm just playing through a very special set of instructions that they've given me to play through their movie.
Like too cinematic.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
love it if Sony would diversify again.
Yeah.
Their studio output used to be so eclectic, right? There were games like that were more cinematic experiences, but then they had super experimental games. Flower, like that game, made me feel so many emotions, including genuine fear, which you would not think a game about a flower petal could make you feel. But I felt genuine fear at one point playing Flower, and they like such creative stuff that they were putting out. And yeah, it does kind of feel like they've chosen a path and they're just sticking to it now.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was just so my pastor will come hang out with me on Mondays. Shout outs to Alex.
Alex.
And we were just talking today about how he was like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but he was like, there was a time, like from, let's call it the Super Nintendo to the like GameCube PS2 type era, where it felt like a lot of the games that we played, there was such a love and a passion behind these games, like the way they were designed, the way they played, some of the experimental mechanics. And he was just like, I just feel like they don't make games like that anymore. So it's like so much more rare for me to be like, wow, that was a great experience. And it just feels like it's kind of the same, like it looks the same, especially with a lot of the AAA, like, you know, big budget games. So we were just talking about that today. And I feel like with a lot of these bigger open world games, they kind of feel that way for me. Like I struggle to get into Western RPGs in general, but most of the time Western RPGs are massive open world. And like I got into Skyrim because it was a social thing when I was in college. So we all had our different levels and we're going different paths and creating different characters and doing stupid things. And we were having fun talking about it, right? But outside of that, I really got sort of burned out on the kind of open world concept. And I don't think Horizon kind of just like felt like it was doing that. Interesting concept, but it was still within that kind of realm.
Yeah.
It's kind of a wonder I liked Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom so much, because they're also massive with a ton of things to do. But something about the design of those games feels more
Like you have player
Approachable.
agency.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because Xenoblade's the same way. I mean, it's a giant
Because
open world, but the
you-
way that
yeah.
they built it is like all of those things are meaningful. Like especially in the
Yeah.
third game, like the way that they handled the hero quests, like what you found out in the world
Yeah.
actually like mattered and felt like
Yeah.
a meaningful part of the story. It wasn't just like stuff thrown out there
Sure. Yeah.
to go collect.
I think
or
they
whatever.
reward. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely reward exploration. I think in a positive way, and they like drop surprises for you. It's not just kind of this empty open world where there might be things
Yeah.
there, but you're just
I
kind of
felt-
moving through the same
Right.
old, same old.
I feel with things like Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade, things like that, the conversations you have with people that are playing the games at the same time are just very different. Where if you're playing something like Horizon, it's going to very much be, have you got to this point yet and seen this? And if it's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's very much like, oh, you did that? I didn't even know you could do that.
Right.
I need to go home and try that.
Yeah,
You know
some
what
of
I
the
mean?
things people are
So-
still posting online where you're just like, excuse me, what did they just do with this
Yeah,
game?
yeah.
It's true.
Well, yeah, different games have different ways of rewarding us, and I think like we probably. I don't want to speak for all of us, I guess, but like I know I prefer those kind of rewards, like the Xenoblade style, where it's feels like a meaningful story piece that I'm getting from this thing that I'm doing. I can see other people enjoying just like the act of filling out a map and checking off a checklist. Like there are people that like those kinds of like, job like games where
Yeah.
you have tasks to do and you complete them and you feel a sense of reward for doing that. So like, yeah, I don't know. I think that a lot of those types of games like Horizon, I don't dislike them, but the reward structure just doesn't appeal to me as much. Maybe.
Yeah, I think with Horizon, like there are certain rewards for exploring. Like there's lots of like, because like the state of the world in Horizon and trying to figure out like what happened to the people in the past. So as you explore, you can find like hidden areas that will give you like little snippets of like that old world, and kind of boosts up the whole like narrative. But at the same time, it's also very much like points on a map. Where like with Breath of the Wild and things like Elden Ring, like they just kind of let you go into this world and your exploration is a sense of like just adventure. Like you don't know where you're going. You're just kind of like finding things. And if you find like a hidden dungeon, you're like, oh, this is cool. Let me run through this dungeon. And like, I find a really cool like weapon or whatever it is. Like, it's just like truly like adventure for the sake of adventure.
role-playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like
your
the difference.
like your adventure is like part of the story, unraveling and everything. Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah.
why Witcher 3 is so successful, I think, among JRPG like enjoyers, is because a lot of their like side quests and parts of the world, like it integrates back into who Geralt is, the main character, and also important characters just throughout the story. But which I don't know if we'll have time to maybe get into this one, because I know not everyone necessarily got into Witcher 3 here. But
I wonder who you're talking about, Emily.
I wonder who. It's all right. It's all right. But it's okay. It's okay too. Not all games are for everyone.
Right.
You give it a fair shake.
I actually never played Witcher 3, but I didn't
think you
play
like
it
it.
because of what I'm critiquing about these other games. I was like, I'm
really?
sure it's great, but it seems like another one of those types of games. And
It's
so
not.
I just
It's not.
You
it's
might,
not-
I've
you
heard
might
that.
find
It's
the
like
reward
JRPG
structure
enjoyers.
is different.
Not
It's
at
different
all.
than a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Similar
that's why I brought it up.
superficially, but like, reward structure is very different. I guess I should go because we're coming up
Please.
on time. I had a few runners up that I want to just throw out there to maybe ignite some rage.
Oh.
Not even
rage.
necessarily
If-
people
if
here.
he
but
wasn't-
the true
You're in a
purpose
rage
of this
from all these-
episode.
so far.
I was gonna say not a JRPG, of course, but Final Fantasy 14. I've tried now 3 times, intensely to get into it, and I just could not do it. I just think
Because you
it's
didn't
just
play
not-
with me.
That could be part of it. That could be part of it. Yeah, but I feel like 3 times is like okay. That's like the limit. That's more than I think I've given any other game to hook me. So I probably have to let it go. It's interesting when you brought up Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It made me realize something about myself. So thank you for helping me work on myself today.
You're welcome. Branden to Branden.
I loved Breath of the Wild. Also, I loved Octopath Traveler. I did not like Tears of the Kingdom, and I did not like Octopath Traveler 2.
Ooh.
And
Interesting.
that always blows people's minds because it's like, but Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild, but better. Octopath Traveler 2 is Octopath Traveler, but better. And I'm like, I know that, but like, that's not what I want. I want more of an evolution in the game. And like that's my struggle, is when it's that but more, that but better, it just doesn't appeal to me. So Octopath Traveler 2 is another
newfound curiosity. I think you have with a new title.
It's another example of one that I could have brought up. But I think to close it off with some symmetry, to be the yin to Emily's yang, I will pick Final Fantasy 12 as mine, because that is one that I genuinely did try to get into, being a longtime series fan, and played immediately when it came out. Like, I was in college when it came out, living on my own for the first time, and I wasn't really playing a lot of video games. I had kind of gone into hibernation on the gaming front. I would still play the occasional game, but I was not as into it, certainly not as I am now, sicko with all this stuff here.
What are you talking about?
Don't
I'm in there.
So I was very excited for 12. I loved every Final Fantasy game that I had ever played. And I don't know, like, right off the bat, I was like, I'm not connecting with the characters. I don't feel like they're that important. As I was playing through the game, experiencing the story, I was like, I don't feel like any of these people matter to what's going on. It's like this big political story. And like, sure, there's a princess and she's a pretty key figure, but the rest of the cast, the rest of the crew, I don't know. I wasn't feeling their connection to things. It felt a little too Star Wars to me. I like Star Wars, but
it does feel very Star Wars-y.
Felt very like, in the past they paid homage to Star Wars with like Biggs and Wedge being like characters that would show up in Final Fantasy games. This just felt like they were like, forget it. It's ripping it off. Like, we're just doing Star Wars. And so that kind of bugged me, even though I like Star Wars. I was like, that's weird. And the combat, that was at the end of the day, really the thing that I think prevented me from pushing through to the end. And like I was saying before we started the show, when we were chatting ahead of time, I played up to the very end of Final Fantasy 12. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't realize how close I was to the end when I finally threw in the towel, but I was very close to the end. So if I would have just stuck with it, I could have at least said that I finished it. But the combat being what it is, where it is, MMO style combat, sort of like Xenoblade, where you kind of have an auto attack and you can jump into menus and do special skills and magic and whatnot, coupled with like the ability to program your other characters, create if-then statements, basically.
The gambit system, yep.
Yeah, that allow them to do different actions based on what's happening in the battle. I don't like that. I was a programmer for a while. My first job at the company I'm at now was as a programmer. So I do a lot of I've done a lot of programming. It's fine, but was also my job. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't something that I wanted to do for fun. And it felt very jobby to me. So I just didn't connect with that. So that being said, I kind of always had Final Fantasy 12 as like, man, there's so much of me that wants to like that, because I'm a Final Fantasy guy, man. Like, I'm into them all. I play all the final. I like 13. 15 is one of my favorite games.
13 is great.
Period.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
Because people are so nasty about 13.
Yeah, Mags,
People
we've
are
talked
so
about
nasty
it.
about 13.
We know you like 13, but
Crazy
the
to
internet
me.
doesn't.
I love
I'll
15,
never
and
understand.
People
13's having resurgence.
Yeah.
13 is going through a renaissance right now, which is nice.
Yeah.
15 will be like 5 years down the road.
I'm ready for it.
But like, I love 15 so much.
I
It's
love
like one of
15.
my all-time favorite games.
15 is really good.
So like, I'm like, what is going on here with 12? Like, why didn't I connect with it? I really want to know why. Like, I really want to like it. So my plan is, at some point here, I want to actually try again. I did recently had to grab some footage, so I loaded it up, the remaster, the Zodiac Age, whatever. And I got maybe an hour, of footage. And even in that hour, I was like, oh, I really don't like this combat thing. I really don't. Like, can I do a full game of this? So that's
Yeah.
that's my game. That's my game.
I love 12. 12 is like
Yeah.
like a top 3 kind of Final Fantasy for
Top
me.
3.
Top 3.
Yeah,
That's intense.
so hit me. So hit me with
12.
why. Tell me. Explain
Well,
why. Help me understand.
I think we have different aspects of the games that we like. So you guys know that I love grinding and I love breaking things.
12 is easy to
And
break.
so I'm that weird Final Fantasy 12 fan that actually prefers the original over the Zodiac Age. Because in the original, you had the full license board and you could make any character anything. And I loved that. So I went crazy building out my characters to do stupid things, number one. Number two, and this is actually true of Zodiac Age as well. In the beginning, you can level up enough to get the
I know
oh
you're
shoot,
gonna tell
what are the
this
special
story.
attacks?
It's like I've heard this before.
Shut up, Slam. The special attacks, whatever those things are, I forget what they're called, but you can go to like the
Quickenings?
werewolves, the quickenings. Thank you. You can go to the werewolves and basically spam the quickenings, even though they're way higher level than you, and get like a really high level katana that you can equip on Van. You can like run through the Necro Hall of Nabadis and get the Zodiac Spear in the beginning of the game, and so you can go to the Demon Wall that's supposed to not be beatable and beat it. Like there were just so many things that you can do if you could like figure out how to tweak the systems and get them to work. And then even with the Gambit system, you can set your characters up to do stupid things and just get like crazy good. So I do think the characters are a fair critique, because for me, when I played it, and I've played through the game about 3 times now, like all the way through, the beginning I feel is much stronger for the characters, and then there's just this like moment about like, I don't know, call it 60-70% of the way through, where it doesn't feel like it matters anymore for certain characters. So like Van and Pinello, like why are they even there? They don't really matter that much. Bosch feels like he should be way more of a main character than he is. Ash even seems like she's supposed to be the main character and kind of isn't. So it gets kind of confusing at the end, and I think that's part of, there was some development drama and stuff that happened back in the day. I think Matsuno's involved and something happened where he wasn't anymore.
There was like health
Something
issues.
like
I
that.
remember that being in the news article at the time.
So to me, the story does feel like they start really strong, and then it doesn't end as strong. I'll give you that.
It's a little disjointed.
Yeah. But the gameplay mechanics, the world, the music is very Final Fantasy Tactics-ish, and I love
the
Tactics,
music.
so there's going to be some nostalgia there too.
I do.
I found the exploration to be super fun. Finding all of the summons was super fun for me, especially because of their connection to Tactics. A lot of them. So I think for me, I just had a lot of fun with that game, and there was something about it that was really addicting in general for me. So that every now and again, I'll have it itch to go back to an old game. Not as much as Slam. This is like a regular thing for Slam. But for me, like, I don't know, every once in a while. And Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy XII, despite my love for many of the other games, probably have the strongest pull. I can't quite put my finger on why, but they just do. So I really love 12.
It's like why I love that they do all these remasters and stuff, because like you said, I do love going back and replaying some of these games and seeing if they still it gives me a good excuse to like see if they still sit where they sit in my mind, you know what I mean? And 12 is one of those where I'm with you on the combat system, Brandon. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the game. I think the story's good, although it does get a little disjointed toward the end. The music's one of the best soundtracks in the series, I think. It does some really interesting things with its whole, progression system and things like that. But the combat is doesn't feel Final Fantasy to me, whether you look games leading up to 12 or games after 12. It just doesn't, it feels less like Final Fantasy than some of the action combat we've seen recently, to be honest. Yeah. So I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, I think it feels
some
disjointed.
people would argue though that the combat system is the prototype for 7 Remake.
Yeah, I don't feel that way.
It can be argued. I'll leave it at that.
Anything can be argued.
I think some of the
Yeah, that's
disjointedness
true.
comes from like, it seems, and I don't know how true this is. It's true to an extent at least. that, Final Fantasy had been kind of shepherded under a pretty consistent voice for most of its life. And then, Hironobu Sakaguchi left, and suddenly it was like topsy-turvy world. Dogs are friends with cats. Everything is crazy. And Matsuno kind of brought his team in. Right? Like he had his people. Hitoshi Sakamoto had never done a Final Fantasy other than Tactics, had never done a mainline Final Fantasy score. He brought Sakamoto in. He brought, so he kind of brought his people in and did a game in his world, right? He did it in Ivalice. So it's the only Final Fantasy game that is connected to some outside fantasy property, right? So it feels disjointed to me from other Final Fantasies because it kind of just is. Like it's structured so differently than these other games. But it kind of was the beginning of Final Fantasy starting this kind of wandering through the wilderness thing that it's been doing, where every game is different than the game that came before it. Like we had 10 games in a row that were pretty solid. Like not solid. I just mean like pretty
consistent,
comparable to each other. Consistent.
Yeah.
And then we hit an MMO, and then we get 12, which is kind of MMO-ish, but single player. And then 13 is, crazy different. 14 is an MMO. 15 is crazy different. 16 is crazy different. I don't know. Like to me, it kind of sits in that place where I also associate it with the kind of changing of the guard, and not to be like a bitter old boomer, but like I do miss the way that it was, despite liking some of the later Final Fantasies. I still miss that consistency that it used to have.
I did feel like Lost Odyssey felt more like what Final Fantasy 12 ought to have been than 12 did. I think that's fair.
I agree.
Yeah, I think this conversation is interesting because 12 was my first Final Fantasy. So that's what I associated Final Fantasy with, I guess, outside of Kingdom Hearts.
13 was my first one, so I totally get
was
that.
yours? Oh.
13 was. So I can
that's a real
understand
tragedy.
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I stuck with the series. I love 13 anyway.
13 is great.
Yeah. It's cool. But I will say, I think what appealed to me about Final Fantasy 12 was I didn't play that many, I guess, larger area, like 3D areas you could go out and battle things, not like random encounters and things like that, which I thought was exciting at the time. And I just liked the atmosphere. It was cool riding airships and things like that in 3D. And while I think the end of the story disappointed me as a 16-year-old when I was playing it, I still was just like really intrigued by like, oh, I've never really seen this like, political sort of unrest and intricate kind of stuff going on in the backgrounds. I'm really just always was kind of hooking me. Like I want to know more. I want to see where this goes. And while the characters, I don't think were that interesting other than like Balthier and Fran, I still liked it. And I like the combat. I don't know. For me, I'm not really a min or maxer. I like to find efficient ways to use systems that are interesting and complex. And you do like an efficient way where I don't have to grind. Like I liked that for like Final Fantasy Tactics. I didn't really grind at all when I was playing because I wanted to, how can I push myself to make efficient choices to see how far I could get and do minimal grinding. So that's what I think appeals to me with complex systems like 12. Like how can I like program things to do what I want to do and, see how it all plays out. So I think, different strokes for different folks. That's okay. I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the idiot who just takes a club to games and grinds like crazy so that I can just like walk through them.
Do you look at like walkthrough or like tips and guides of like how do you min max things? Like I feel like that would take much time, like a brain power for me to figure out, how do I min max this without playing this a gazillion times?
So sometimes I will if I want to get through something quickly, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll approach a game and I'll try to just like figure things out strategically first and figure out where I can take advantage of certain characters and I'll like look around in all the nooks and crannies. It's one of the reasons I love Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest you can find all kinds of crazy things if you like look around in towns and stuff. And if I get to a certain point where I need to make a decision, like, hey, I now have too many characters and I have to choose who my party is, I might look up, who's the best party and why, and try to like dig into what kind of strategy I want to roll with, and then I'll kind of take it from there and run with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Makes sense. I like it.
But this might also explain, Branden, why you didn't like I guess, Papa Shasta here. Why you didn't like,
Papa
just
Shasta.
to differentiate which Branden. Why you didn't like Final Fantasy 14, because, you know, the MMO kind of combat, but it's interesting that you enjoyed Xenoblade, you know, even though that was not exactly the same.
I enjoy Xenoblade despite the combat.
Yeah, I think
I've
that's
been a
really
I've been a
what it
Xeno
is.
I've been a Xeno series fan since I was like, it was my first PlayStation game was Xenogears. Like I have been obsessively in love with the Xeno series since then. He could come and punch me in the face and call that Xenoblade 4 and I'd be glad. Like I will follow that man to the ends of the earth.
I'll line up at the midnight launch.
Everybody come play Xenoblade 4.
Punch.
Boom.
Yeah, like I will follow him through hell because I love
feel you.
Takahashi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
So
there
yeah,
with you.
he hurt me with the combat in Xenoblade for sure. Don't love it, but I'm there day one, no matter what.
Hey,
so.
I survived Xenosaga 2. So
Yeah.
if I can survive
Barely by the
Xenosaga
skin of my
2
teeth.
and still enjoy that like series, I can enjoy anything at this point.
Heck yeah.
Xeno related. Like I will
Heck yeah,
literally
son.
play anything Xeno related. So
But yes, thank you. I think we've gone over time, but that's okay. We're having fun,
we're
right?
having a ton of fun.
So thanks you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate it. One more time, why don't you tell us where we can find your show so that we can go listen to it?
Yeah.
So our viewers know where to look.
Yeah,
No,
you can
me, I
find
wanna
us.
know.
You should know.
Papa Shasta can find us at the Level Up Legacy podcast on YouTube. We also have a Level Up Legacy podcast Twitter account. We have a Discord that you can join, and we also have membership as well, where if you want to jump in there and support us, we're doing some fun things like playing through games that our community votes for and doing some extra content with that. We have some pre-shows, and we have a lot more things cooking as well, especially now that Mags is here because she's going to help us get everything organized. So
I'm
You can
trying.
also
Yeah.
find
I'm
us
trying.
on the podcast apps, Apple Podcasts,
Yeah,
right.
that's
Spotify,
right.
all that.
All the things.
And on YouTube too.
Perfect.
Yep.
And I'll admit that's where I listen primarily is on the podcast apps. I do podcasts like mostly in my car. So so you got listeners on the podcast side.
Thanks, Papa
got
Shasta.
viewers.
We appreciate
You
you.
got it. You got it.
And Shmemily.
All right. Well, thank you all to those of you who listened / watched this show. We really appreciate you. Thanks especially to our members for supporting the show. You make it possible for us to be able to do this. Thank you so much. If you're a Pursuer level member, I hope that you will stick around for the after show, which we are going to do now. And it should be good. I'm assuming.
friends
'cause,
here.
It should
we
be.
have our friends here.
It
and
should
I
be
think
good.
we're all a little loopy, so
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
Say
final
why
thoughts?
Brandon's wrong
Anybody
about
before
Final
we
Fantasy 12.
before we kick it off? Yeah, tell me in the comments why I'm wrong about Final Fantasy 12, so that I can ignore
Correct
it.
your
No, I'm
ways.
just kidding. I'll take it all to
I
heart.
feel like there'll be more comments on Final Fantasy 10.
Hey, I was
I think
willing to
that's the
replay
shocker.
it.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
the
really
shocker.
willing to
I'm just
replay it.
saying.
That's the shocker.
It's been a
of the
long time
episode
since
right
I
there.
attempted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, anyone, before we go?
No,
Ah,
I
I
love
had
it.
fun.
I love it.
Thanks for
Everyone
having
had
us.
fun.
Shut down.
No
Yeah,
thoughts.
no more thoughts.
No more thoughts, guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And until next time,
Take care, everyone.
bye-bye.
Bye.
see ya.